We've had a lot of problems with education in Hastings and Rye, with Brighton University pulling out of Hastings, the enormous problems faced by Rye Studios School, and the general poor performance by academies in the area. What do you think would improve things here?
It mostly comes down to funding, really, and I think that's the important thing, is that the amount being given to schools per pupil just isn't enough. But on the particular problems of Hastings University, for example, I think that just is an illustration of how bad the government's policy around higher education is. And we needed a university in Hastings, we needed it for local people, we needed it for the local economy, and in any kind of planned higher education structure, that was obviously a good thing. But in the end, the government seems to be just treating universities as independent businesses that can just kind of act in their own interests, and were not prepared to intervene at all in Brighton University's decision to pull the campus out of Hastings. It was just done in Brighton University's interests. We have now got Sussex Coast College, who want to establish a university centre in Hastings, and within 5 years or so they could get their own degree awarding powers. And I think we should be doing, and I certainly would be doing, everything I possibly can to support them in growing our own university in Hastings, because other towns have done that. I think that's the way forward. Rye Studio School been a problem too, and that's Michael Gove launched that 3 years ago as an experiment. He said an experiment. And earlier this year, he admitted the experiment had failed. And I think, message of the government there is stop experimenting with our children. We need proper education. We had a consensus again on how education should be provided in a comprehensive way. And the way that the government keeps trying to bring in free schools, new grammar schools, all these experimental things, or in the case of grammar schools, things that are proven not to work, is just lunatic. And we need to kind of go back to a properly structured, comprehensive education system under local authority control that is properly organised. And I think all the other experiments, most of them have failed. And they're failing our children. So it's partly about structure and stopping the experiments, and partly about adequate funding too.